Yes, we go. Day One Journey, episode 1418. 30 minutes with your teenage version of yourself. For example, with the teenager version of myself, I have 30 minutes. Obviously, I won't do this updates with adding the removing the extra spaces from the title. I wouldn't waste time on non-important things like that, like this, like that. Either way, what would you say to the teenager version of yourself if you only had 30 minutes? Wow. Imagine you have a 30 minutes with yourself as a teenager and then your life actually can change. Well, some people would say, I don't want to play this game because everything changes, yeah. I'm happy with my life right now, so it's not that I want to go back and change. So I want to think about this experiment, this exercise, as if I'm talking to myself, which will live a different life. I'm not actually changing the life I have right now. This is not like actually having a time machine and then it's a parallel universe. Okay, if you want to do this exercise with me. Yes, I'm not worried about losing the things that I have right now because I changed the past, like we saw in all the movies, like we see in all the movies. But I think about this teenager version of myself in a parallel universe. What would I say to them? How can I help them? What advice can I give them? I remember this is me. This is not just a teenager. It's a teenager. It's me as a teenager with my challenges, with my problems, with my obstacles, and the things that I want to do in my life. What are the main things, messages, life lessons that I would want to share with them? Well, actually, I did this exercise several times. Um, Maybe even one time I wrote a letter. Not sure about that. But today I want to focus on a bit more specific question, which I found today, I realized today that can be very helpful. What is the question? What what skills would I want? What skills would I recommend them to practice? What are the daily things that I will push them to do that will emphasize the benefits? Because some of the things that I would tell them, I'm not actually doing right now, which is just hilarious. Because, yes, they are 17, yeah, teenagers, 16, and they have all their life in front of them. So they can practice. Let's say I want, okay, one thing specific, I wanted to practice self hypnosis, which for me is like the middle ground with for NLP, psychiatry. It's like the personal development thing. I would focus on self hypnosis. Yeah, this is what I would push them to practice. Of course, I will explain them why it's important for everything. But if I don't have enough time, I just tell them, okay, this is what you do, and this is why it's good for. This is what it's good for. Now the thing is, what is the thing here that I see helpful for me right now is yes, they are teenagers. So yes, if they practice for 6, 7 years, they can be monsters with these skills. Yeah. Um, so they sort of have all their life in front of them. But so do I. Yes, I'm young. I have energy. I can practice. I have my freedom. I can dedicate 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there every single day. I also know the power of practice, the power of time, the power of um, um, when you practice the same thing over and over again through time, you it's extremely powerful. Deliberate practice. I read the books, the Talent Code, Mastery of Robert Greene. These amazing books of them best artists and performers in the world, how they practice, how they became who they became. Um, I know how to practice. And if you're deliberate and you do things for 6, 7 years, you become a whew. So I can do it then. This is what I would say to myself. Certain things that I would do with working out, with mobility, with flexibility, with strength, uh, tips about that. But the thing is, well, these things I actually do every single day. Self-hypnosis, I don't do, and I want to do it. So just listening to your own advice. There's so many times it's so easy to tell other people what's wrong with their life, right? It's so easy to give advice. It's much harder to keep quiet and actually demonstrate what you're talking about. Yeah. Then when you demonstrate, it happened to me. People come to you and ask you how. They already come to you because you're there doing it. They see you doing it. You wake up every morning 4:30 a.m. People ask me, how do you do this? Why do you do this? For how long? This is setting an example. This is why I chose color blue, the leader. Well, actually, it's dark blue, the leader, the part of me that wants to lead. And leading starts with demonstrating. It starts with setting an example. This is setting an example. How can I give the teenage version of myself advice that I don't follow? So, putting myself in this situation, actually imagining myself meeting this teenage version of myself with the knowledge that they have, the challenges they have, the frustrations that they have, and I know about them. And I want to give them the best advice ever because this is me. I care about me. So I want to follow my own advice. It may sound a bit of a cliche, but some things are cliches, still very true. Yeah, listen to your own advice. Be your own mentor. Well, I did it well, I actually do it quite a lot, and it works. So I want to do more of it. So I want to do more of it. So what I say to myself is this 30 minutes. I'll probably talk a little bit about self-hypnosis and the power of your mind. Um, I'll give them the gist of building muscle and stuff like that, give them some resources. And probably the other thing I would talk about is communication, how to practice the communication, how to become a better communicator, amazing resources to learn English or maybe even another language, and just keep on practicing. Socially, if I'm still thinking about the teenage version of myself, socially, this I was thinking about this for oh a few days ago. Socially, I would push them to um, probably choose different like extracurriculum activity, for the lack of a better word right now. Like choose different hobbies, go and learn martial arts, or go and learn some dance, and just and, and find friends there instead of school. Yeah, school. Well, I had my friends, I had my challenges, but I could just go places. Yeah, learn this, learn that, and find people. This is what I would tell to myself. Yeah, find people who share similar interests as you. Now, back then, I wasn't sure what I'm excited about. So I will also give myself the heads up. Dance, exercise, mobility, um, maybe even programming. Who knows? Self-hypnosis, communication, the power of focus, the power of meditation. These are the things that I will discuss with myself. Probably, if I actually think I have 30 minutes with with a teenager, I will prep for this, and I will find several books and resources, and I'll just come with these 10 books, and this is what you need to do. Go. And then they will summarize everything that I want. I'll send them to the people. I'll do the research for them, part of it. Either way, I think it's a very, very powerful exercise. Try it with yourself. What advice would you give to the teenage version of yourself? What areas of their life, or your life, would you want them to focus on? Have an amazing day, day one. See you tomorrow.